Most people think their job is destroying their life, or stress, money, or even the system. But for a lot of people, that's not the real problem. The real problem is toxic people. But well, who are they? They can be work colleagues, friends, yes, and even family members. And the worst part, they don't look toxic at first. They are quite smart in hiding their real intentions. Welcome to the first video of my new series, Walk and Talk, where I take you on a walk with me to talk about one specific topic. The topic today is toxic people. All right, lean back and enjoy. But what does toxic actually means? When we hear toxic people, we imagine extremes, manipulators, abusers, narcissists. But most toxic people are way more subtle. They drain energy, they normalize negativity, they create constant emotional friction. You don't leave conversations feeling attacked, you leave them feeling heavy, confused, second-guessing yourself, less clear than before. That's the signal. The daughter of a good friend called them once energy vampires. That's a perfect term in my opinion. Why are toxic people so dangerous for you? Toxic people don't destroy you or your life overnight. They slowly reprogram you. They normalize complaining, helplessness, cynicism, small thinking. And what do? You adapt. Not because you agree, but because humans mirror their environment. You don't notice the shift until one day you realize you're more tired, less ambitious, more reactive, and you don't know why. I actually have an aunt, which is also my godmother, and some years ago she started complaining about everything. Never asking me about how I am doing, how my life is going, how my job is going. No, she questions my decisions. I always felt drained after talking to her, and I felt down. It took me a while to realize that she is not good for me. I realized she is a toxic person. So what's the psychology behind it? There's a concept in psychology called emotional contagion. But what does this fancy term stand for? Emotions spread unconsciously. Spend enough time around anxious people and your nervous system becomes anxious. Spend enough time around bitter people and optimism starts feeling naive. This isn't weakness, it's actually biology, because your brain prioritizes belonging over truth. That's why toxic environments are so powerful and so hard to leave. Well, then the question is, why the hell do we stay around toxic people? Because most people know someone is bad for them. They stay anyway. Why? There are many reasons. I know him or her since the kindergarten. It's a family member. They've always been there. It would be awkward to cut them off or even questioning themselves. What if I'm overreacting? But here's the reality. Toxic people benefit from your tolerance. And in the end, you pay the cost. They get the comfort. And slowly your standards drop. And you think it's normal to have those people around you. Whatever you do in life, there are always consequences. Don't forget about that. So then, what are the real costs of being surrounded by toxic people? The real damage isn't drama. No, it's lost momentum. Ideas you don't pursue, risk you don't take, growth you delay. Not because you're incapable, but because your environment keeps pulling you back to the baseline. Like back to start in Monopoly. Is that fun? No, it's not. Toxic people don't push you forward, they keep you manageable. So what actually works? How you get rid of toxic people? Well, you don't need confrontations. You don't need explanations all the time. What you need is distance, less access, less emotional exposure, less availability. We recently cut ties with a so-called friend who came late all the time when we arranged to meet, or several times cancelled on us hours before. She disappeared for days without replying back to us without any reason. So we agreed that we do not need such friends in our life who not seem to value spending time with us, or constantly letting us wait, or stealing our valuable time. This was just disrespectful. Not everyone deserves proximity. Protecting your energy isn't selfish, it's strategic. Question defaults. challenge the status quo, build leverage, and choose freedom over comfort. Then in the end, it's your life. If you liked the video, leave me a thumbs up and consider subscribing to the channel. It's totally free. Hit the bell icon to get notified if I release a new video. And peace and out.